Hi, the boys and girls, it's Alex from PokerDiaries.net. Today I'm gonna play one half-an-hour session on ipoker network. I'm playing on Nl50. This is the stakes I usually play, so I already have some notes and stats on the players. So probably we're gonna have many more info than previously when I played Zoom in my previous videos. So let's see how it goes. I will try to explain everything while we are playing. We're gonna play 4 tables. I'm using hand to know to get all my stats. I'm using holdem manager to recall all my hands, and for later reviews to improve my plays. So first let's see who are we playing against. On this top left table we have one really weak player playing 72 VPIP. Just right to me, that's a great position on the table. So on the upper right table we are against many regs here, it seems so. So on some of them we have a lot of hands, like on this guy we have 4,700 hands. And this guy also seems like a reg, so we're gonna label him as a reg. This orange mark means like a weaker reg, the yellow one means good reg. So if I see somebody playing over 20 VPIP, I can just assume he's a nit or a weak reg. And on the other tables we have this super aggressive guy left to us, so not a great position to be. So with this hand we can free bet or we can call here. So let's see how much is he folding to a free bet. So he folding 67% of the time. That's good enough to make a profitable free bet. So I can also make it a slightly bigger, like 5.2, but I think 4.7 is good enough to have enough folds for him. This board is really good for us, so we can get away with a really small c-bet of 1/3 of the pot, and we take it down. That's obviously a great outcome with our king 10 high. Here we're gonna re-steal also with 2 tens. Didn't have much info, so how much is this guy folding? But we're gonna assume he will not fold everything here, since he looks like a decent reg, playing 23-23 in last 30 hands. It's super small sample, so but it's still some guideline what to expect. Also this guy here seems like a reg, we're gonna mark him as a reg. It's also very important to have all players smart, so you know who you're against. And also if you see something funky going on, you can make a note for a future reference. Here with the ace-4 is too weak for defend against this sizing. I would defend my big blind really wide. So against the steals I would defend around 50 to 55% of the time. And my overall VPIP from the big blind should be around 35-36%. So this guy seems to be a nit, so if he is folding a lot I would open any 2 from the small blind. So I would open like 7 deuce off here. And if he calls or free bets, it's just easy fold. But I expect to get enough folds here to make it profitable to open any 2 cards. Also, if you have 2 nits in the blinds, it's also easy open with any 2. So this is something that is not, let's say, GTO approved. Solver will never do this to like open any 2 from the small blind or button. But against some specific opponents, you can get away doing that. But you just have to pay attention who you're playing against. But in this situation, they obviously have good hands, both of them. So we're just gonna give up here with our Jack 10. Here we are not on MP since this guy is not playing, so we're gonna open this one for the cutoff. But since it's open to us, it's just an easy fold. Here I'm checking how much is this guy defending on the big blind, so He's free betting 15% of the time. But since it's limp to us, we're gonna just limp also here, expecting to see a flop often. And on this board, we expect to be good. I don't want to put a lot of money into pot, so 1/3 of the pot bet is good enough here. This guy seems like a fish. He only played 3 hands, but he just limped, and he has a really weird stack. So here one more bet for value, and if he gets raised or if he calls, I'm gonna be really cautious on the river. So this session gonna be maybe half an hour. I hope to get into some interesting spots. Everything is recorded live, so I'm not doing any montage or not overdubbing some voiceovers. This guy also seems like a net, so I'm gonna open a 2 from the small blind. I have enough info, we only have 24 hands on him. But until now he played 21 VPIP, so looks like a weak reg or a net. So nets are also fish in some way. You need to take advantage of the nets also as you take advantage of fish. They will usually have a really bad pot flop play, and they will just play when they have a really good hand. So you can make some, let's say, exploitative folds and exploitative raises against them in good situations. But you probably know until now that poker is a game of information. If you have enough information, you're good to go. Here I'm gonna make a really loose defend here against mid and open, and against the guy who I know is very aggressive and can make some really crazy calls. With 2 jacks, easy free bet. Here when we do not flop anything on such a scary board like this, just have to give up. And the reg just 4-bet us. Let's see how much is he 4-betting. So he's opening MP 21% of time, he's folding 62% of time, and he's 4-betting only 4%. That means he's 4-betting pretty much only aces, kings, and ace kings. So very easy fold with 2 jacks. Against this guy, I think I will not open 8-3. I just went to open it, but I think he's just too aggressive. So against him, we need a better hand to continue. So 2 jacks, when you get 4-bet, it's a really tricky spot. Against some players, you're gonna 5-bet jam. Against some players, you're gonna call, and against some players who have really tight 4-bet range, you're just gonna fold. So this here is 4-bet range. So if total 4-bet range is 1%, that's aces, kings, and ace king. So 2 jacks would be a really bad call. If you make calls like that against a player like this, you're just gonna lose a lot of money. I would really like to play this queen 10, but against 4x open, I cannot. Against 2x open or even 2.5x with 1 extra call, you should be fine, especially since this guy looks like a fish. But against 4x open, it's just too loose. This guy looks like a reg, we're gonna mark him and treat him as a reg for now until he makes some funny plays. And here this guy is a net. So we have actually a whole table full of nets there here. So we're just gonna open everything like crazy, every like cutoff, every button, every small blind, expecting to them not to defend their blinds enough. And when they raise us, we're just gonna fold. So here I will not open, I will limp from the small blind, since I want to play as many hands against the fish as possible. If he makes a big raise, I will just fold. But when he calls on this board, we're gonna bluff, since we are not expecting him to have much. But when he calls, we're gonna have to give up, since he will probably not fold on the turn. And now maybe he will fold, I'm not sure, but I have to go for it since I have 8 high. Great. Okay, so super nit guy just called us, and we have set on ace high board. So the plan is to bet big, bet big, bet big. If he has an ace, he will call. If he doesn't have ace, he'll just fold. So easy game. The jacks is a mandatory free bet from the big blind, but this guy looks really tight. If he 4-bet us, he will also fold here, but that didn't happen, so great. This limit is actually not a regular Nl50, because it's not $50, it's 50 euros, so it's actually a little larger than Nl50 on, let's say, Poker Stars or on a Party Poker. On ipoker network, Winamax network, and some other networks, their main currency is euros. So since I am from Europe, that's good for me. And also I'm happy to play a little higher stakes than the other sites using Nl50. This orange one is a nit stack. So for now, these guys are on nits 16-16, 12-8, 15-12, 16-12. You're gonna isolate the fish here, you have a premium hand, you're in position. He's thinking about something, maybe he's gonna free bet me. Let's see how much is he free betting versus isolation. So his free bet versus isolation is 5%. So that means we can also call on 4-bet our ace king. If his free bet versus ISO is like 1%, then we just have to be really careful. We cannot 4-bet ace king. To put that stats in use, we need to have at least a few thousand hands on him. But on this guy, we have almost 5,000 hands on him, so it should be pretty accurate. And here we have only a backdoors, but they're all to the nuts. So our up straight backdoor is to the nuts, our lower straight is to the nuts, and our flush draw is obviously nuts flush draw. So when he checks here, we're gonna bet big turn and shove the river. If he has 2 pairs, he can have it, but I'm expecting to be good here, often to make this a profitable value bet. Here, let's see if he can free bet this guy. He's falling to a free bet 88% of time from the small blind. So we're gonna pretty much free bet him from with any two cards. And need to just free bet us, so I'm gonna fold ace king here, not ace jack. And here this guy folds, that's fine. Here with the queen we don't need to c-bet, here we can go for a delayed c-bet or check call. And this super aggressive guy just free bet. And we have a cold call. We're gonna ship it here with our two queens, expect to be good enough of time. Let's see what happens. So he have two tens, and obviously a very bad board for us. Super unlucky, nothing we can do there. So important thing is that we made a good play. Here with the king queen is defend. And here with our nuts flush draw, we're gonna call this small bet. Here we can c-bet, we can check back. I think a smaller c-bet is fine. And with our king queen, we're gonna value bet two streets here. And the crazy guy who just got really lucky is free betting us super small, so obviously an easy call. And when he calls, he can have a lot of aces here also, even stronger checks, so you can just check back. But when he checks two times, I think I have to just value bet my jack here. And he had two sixes. Here this guy is super crazy, he will never fold like ace high here, so I just have to give up here. Oh, he has two ace high. Okay, crazy guy. Here we have some great backdoors, two overcards, easy c-bet. Here against two nits, opening any two. Here we're gonna bet a little bigger to take him down on 5 or maybe 2 sixes or something like that. And also if he doesn't fold, we can still capture a flush or overcards on the river. Here against the left, I'm gonna make open from the small blind. This is a little loose open. But against these guys, I'm gonna open a little really wide. Since I treat them as a fish, since they are super nits. Okay, interesting. So this is a small free bet, and we are both over 100 big blinds deep, and I'm in position. I'm just hoping he has an aces. If he has aces, I can stack him here if I hit the flop. But this is obviously not the board for us. I don't have any info, so I'm not sure how much is he check folding. So I have to go here for a 2 streets bluff. He's gonna call here with his ace king, ace queen. But on this card we cannot continue. Unfortunately, very unfortunate card. Yeah, this one is even worse. Yeah, you can have it. So this guy seems like a decent track. King 10 should be a defend here. And he 4-bet small. So since we give him credit to make a forward bluff since he's a reg. We can shove our ace king suited here, expecting to have some folds here, also to get some calls from hands we are splitting against. Not splitting, we are flipping against. So pretty easy shove here. Against the super net, he's 4-betting here. I will just call, I will never ship here, since I'm not expecting him to have like ace jack, king jack, or ace 5 in his 4-betting range. But good reg obviously can have hands like this. So that's the reason we are shoving here with our ace king, to deny all his equity and just to make it easier for us to play the hand. Against the crazy guy, I'm gonna open here. He's obviously running super lucky against me, but I'm gonna catch him sooner or later. Here we can free bet or we can call. This time we are calling, want to lure in the fish from the small blind. And we get free bet from the crazy guy. I'm not sure, should I shove here with the 2 jacks, since previously he called me with two tens, or should I just 4-bet? I'm gonna make a crazy play and just ship it in here with the jacks for value. Obviously I'm expecting to get a call from much weaker hands. I think he will never fold like 2 8s here, so here probably just making some crazy bluff. So this is something also that is totally anti-GTO, like to ship 120 big lines in a small pot. But I'm adjusting to the players I'm playing against. If I think this guy is super crazy, super aggressive, he doesn't like to fold, I will just make value bets like that. Here with our overcard and gut shot, we have to bet the flop. And this guy has only 12 euros behind, so we're gonna ship it here for value. Two 8s easy open, 8-3 easy fold. Nothing interesting happening for a while. Let's see if we can get the hand going on the upper right of lower right table. And the net free bet us again. Okay, I think this time we are a little too strong to fold, at least to only a free bet. So he actually never c-bet against me before. Let's see what he does now. He checks. Okay, we have to go for some value here with our 2 tens. If he check raises, it will be a really shitty spot. I hope he check calls or check folds. And yeah, I knew it. He check raise. And if he check raise, it's really large. So I'll have to give him credit for at least like ace king of hearts. At least, so I think his range there is like ace king or ace queen of hearts, aces kings queens, so we just have to fold our tens. Very unfortunate. That's also like totally based on this player, how he looks like. If it was this guy here, I would happily ship my tens in. Also really strange tactic for this guy. So he's not c-betting at all. He just usually goes for a check call, check fold, check raise, that's it. Even when he pre-bet. Not a big sample for now, like less than 200 hands, but good enough to give us some clue. I'm curious to see what is this guy 4-betting with. Previously we folded the jacks to him against his 4-bet, so I would like to see is his range that strong that that I assumed. Here with 2 4s we're gonna be happy to see the flop. Here we get free bet against it one more time. This table doesn't seem to be working really good for me, so let's call. Okay, here one small bet is good enough. And he is betting 2/3 of the pot. With the pair of tens, we just have to call one time. If he continues, we just have to fold here. I'm not expecting him to bluff hands like ace king or ace queen here. So yeah, one more heavy tight fold. Seems we are getting destroyed in this session. How that will look on YouTube? Not very good, I think. But that's it. That's the session. It can be sometimes a little frustrating, but every time you make these tight folds, you're actually making money. So every dollar saved is dollar earned. Because I'm not expecting them to make good folds against me, so here with the queen 9 we're gonna make a little loser defend, but we also have a fish here, so I think it's worth it. And here we're gonna actually dunk into the original raiser, because I'm not expecting him to raise me without having a stronger hand on mine, because fish is behind him and he knows fish can also like be really wide there. Oh, now we cannot open so wide. We have a new player, and this player does not seem like a net, so turn 7 will not be an open. Against 2 nets it is, but against this new guy it's not. So here we took a pot down with our queen 9. I'm gonna play a few more hands on all tables and call it a session. So we are actually constantly getting free bet on this table against the guys who are playing 14-14 and 15-12. Unbelievable. So I know he's super strong here. If I hit my 7, I can just stack him. And here we again have aborted. We just have to call at least one street. And he makes it a really small. Okay, let's go. Here, against such a big free bet, we just have to fold. No, he makes it pretty big. And also, I know many players would call this. I think many of you would say I'm crazy for folding this, but I think it's the right play. Okay, so this session was not so like spectacular. There was no some super big hands. One time we got it in good, we just lost 2 pots, and we had to make a many tough laydowns. So it was not maybe so interesting from your point of view, but I think there was still many interesting things to learn from this session, especially how to make some tough laydowns, when to make tough laydowns, and when to like ship your queens. So and when like to fold your jacks. All depends on what players you are playing against and what are their stats. So just pay attention to stats, have as much information as you can, and you will make better plays than your opponents. Okay, see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.